Hey everybody, welcome back to MicroBeerReviews.com. We are excited because 21st Amendment Brewing Company has come out with a new beer. It's going to be a year-round beer called Down to Earth Session IPA. So, if you have watched any of our other videos, this whole Session IPA thing is this huge trend right now. Low ABVs, typically IBUs are in the 40s or 50s, not too high. But it's basically trying to take over what I call the macro market. So the Budweisers, the Miller Lights, Coors Lights, the Natural Lights, this is what they're going after. However, it's $11 a six-pack. 21st Amendment always puts them in these really cool six-pack containers. All their beers come in cans, which I'm a fan of as well if you watch my other videos. This one has this kind of like astronaut monkey thing dude sitting in a kind of hammock attached to what looks like some sort of capsule that dislodged from a ship on a abandoned island. So I guess that would mean you want to drink a lot. So hopefully you have a lot of down to earth IPA. So it's Session IPA. It's 42 IBUs and 4.4% ABVs. The can looks identical. One of the cool things this brewery does, I think that their cans are some of the most artistic on the market. So this can't be cheap, but it's pretty cool. So it says, basically in a quick nutshell, Down to Earth is a natural evolution, pun intended, of Bitter American, our original session ale. We thought it would be fitting to bring a space chimp home and let him chill. Whether you have a long mission ahead of you or a full afternoon ahead, this Session IPA will help keep things real. More relaxed than an IPA, but with all of the hop aroma and flavor, Down to Earth is a tribute to our unsung heroes and unplanned adventures. Here again, Session IPAs are exploding because craft beer has become such a popular thing. However, if you're out at the beach, the lake, the boat, the backyard, the whatever, people want to drink good beer, but they don't want to have the 8% and the 100 IBUs. So this is made with Cascade and Mosaic hops. The cool thing about this beer, I think, is that, yet again, if you're going to spend a couple more dollars per six-pack, so $11 a six-pack for this versus 7 or 8 for a six-pack at this point now for what the macro beers are, you're hitting on a good thing here. So, anyway, let's check it out. This particular one is extremely filtered. It's got what I call that perfect session carbonation, a little bit of bubbles coming up, but a very, very thin, very, very fluffy, white, frothy, foamy head on the top. Nice golden color, lends to some of the malts that are used in here. They've got a Munich malts, caramel malts, things of that nature. But it's really carbonated in some of the respects of other IPAs on the market right now. So it smells. So this is another one where I've been doing this recently. I cheated. I did not used to do this, but I had one before. It's definitely on the malty side. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different malts in it. And when you smell it, you can smell hops, but it definitely has a caramely, malty flavor to it. But I also think to stand out in this session market, you have to they have to do this right now. There's a ton of beers right now that are session IPAs. They're strictly hops with low ABVs below 5% that are really good and they're very popular. All Day IPA, Stone go-to IPA. I mean, they're pounding with hops, and they're $12 a six-pack. This one lends to something a little bit different, which I actually like. It's got a lot more sweetness to it. It's got a lot more caramel to it, a little bit more malts to it, but it's not over the top where you're like, okay, this is a malt beer. It's still hoppy enough that your palate likes that kind of hop flavor to it. So we'll check it out. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's got that kind of what they call that bready sweetness to it on the front of your palate. There's a little bit of hoppy in the background. It's very clean. It's very easy to drink. There's no bitterness to it. There's no bite to it. There's no booziness to it, which no session IPA should have. But it's really really caramely on the back end, which honestly, I mean, I think what they're doing is smart. I mean, you got to stand out in this market. We rate our beer between 1 and 5. I would give this beer at least a 3.5. At least. I mean, I would keep I would definitely buy it again. It's one of those beers where I would reserve it for certain things. So if I was sitting out in 90-degree heat on the beach, the pool, I probably wouldn't pick this one. But if I came back after doing that and I was gonna fire up the grill, roast some marshmallows, things like that, and it's cooler, but I still don't want a high ABV beer, this would be awesome. This would be phenomenal with food. So here again, a beer review that's a little bit longer than I like, but this is a beer in the summertime. After you've been out all day long, you've already had your session IPAs, however many during the day. This would be a good finishing session IPA because it's a little bit denser and it's a lot sweeter and maltier than some of the other ones. But this is one of the 21st Amendment Brewing Company beers that I will probably purchase more than once and keep in store during the warmer months. So I like it. I mean, this is the second one I've had. It's got a good balance. It's fruity, but it's real malty, and it kind of slightly finishes with some hops. So, all right, leave some comments on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. We upload all the time. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you again real soon. Cheers.